Hey, so welcome. I'm back. Welcome to your Oracle meditation. So let's find that spot. Close those, turn off those lights. Roll your shoulders back. Get comfortable and light that candle. Yes, remember why we light the candle. We light the candle to connect back to the frequency of our ancestors. Connect back to our Mother Earth. Checking in. So congratulations, you have made it successfully to the next moon phase. We are sitting in the Great Hunter's Moon. This is the full moon that appears in Aries of all places. Why is this important or whatever? Is because Aries is that fiery energy. We have taken responsibility for ourselves. We have fought through those shadows, those uncomfortable situations. Soon we will be entering into Taurus. About 1 o'clock today, we'll be entering into Taurus, roughly. And that's all about the flexibility. It's about the neck and it's about the flexibility. Know that once you have discovered and taken responsibility for oneself, we got to stand up for that. But before we jump into that, thank you for being here. Thank you for following, for liking, for listening. Thank you for discovering my YouTube channel or my Spotify. Thank you for practicing your medicine and sharing it with me, letting me know the progress. So let's start clearing our thoughts. Welcome to this Oracle meditation. This is a meditation that I have designed using 8 different Oracle cards, each with a different message sent to us by a different messenger, helping us navigate the world. And we mix in the moon phase, the chakra, the frequency, the zodiac of where the moon is that tells us the zone of the body to work on. We mix in some EFT, some emotional freedom, and some breath work, all working on that imagination and creating a meditation. The beginning steps of that meditation, getting you to commit to a time, getting you to sit down quietly and use that imagination. We know that if we don't use it, we will lose it. And we have on this journey, we have discovered layers and layers and have found that inner child. And we all walk this red road that leads to the sacred mountains. And we know that we don't have to carry everything. We know that we can release what we no longer need through breath. So do that with me. Imagine inhaling the blessings that we're asking for, the medicine we need to heal our body, and the magic to co-create the world and create a world that we want to see in, that we want to be in. And simply exhale to make room. And over time, we have learned that there's different ways to breathe, and we are working on inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose, allowing that medicine to permeate throughout the body and slowing that breath down. So let's get started. We are sitting in the transition between the throat going to the neck. It's going from the heart into the throat chakra. And this is all about communication. This is the 5th phase of the moon. This vibrates. This is where that frequency of sound gets to be tuned. This is where we get to stand up for what we believe in and use our words to navigate the world. This is where we pick up that creative expression and we connect back to that ancestral frequency. So know that we are all walking the red road that leads us to the sacred mountains. And along the way, we find keys that lead us to doors, that lead us to tools. And today, our sacred path card, our first card, tells us that we are at the great smoke and mirrors. Now that we have the full light of the full moon, preparing for the winter, we are at that position of fulfillment. And the sacred path card that we begin with tells us that we need to see that new reflection. Stop at that reflexive mirror. Stop at the mirror. Look at that new person. Yes, that transition was hard. But now, do you see the beauty? Do you see the beauty in that face that looks back at you? We have released that curse, that narrow-minded mind, releasing those major obstacles that we had in front of us. Self-doubt. Be aware of your actions. Know that it is important that we act with impeccability, that we have those impeccable intentions, so that we don't create that sense of debt or karma. Sooner or later, someone has to pay it. I realized that when someone hurts you, our reaction is to want to hurt back or become defensive. Congratulations for alchemizing that thought, for being given the blade and using it to cut that energetic tie yesterday. Today, we see what happens. We see what we look like now with no fear. We've cleaned up and see this new opportunity. That curse is a limited viewpoint, limiting stories, surrendering, not retreating. That curse holds you hostage to a false story. Use the magic in the air to wield a new story. Today, giving us reflections to see through that, to see the beauty in all things, to see that transition in ourselves. I don't know about you, but I'm proud of the way that I responded. I'm not saying that my response was at first clear, but I knew I had to fight through that anger, had to see through it, and I had the help of my tribe to do that. Along the red road, we learn. We are encountered with messages, with animals, with ancestors, all with a message for us. Today, butterfly flies into our, walks with us, flies with us on our journey, reminding us of the beauty, the transition that we are all going through, that metamorphosis. I feel like I am at that butterfly stage where I can look in the mirror and no longer see that poor little girl wrapped up in a hostage situation. I know that I am loved. I know that my ancestors come with the craziest, sweetest stories when I need them. And today we get reminded that we have that animal best friend. When you get home, is there someone there to look forward to you coming home? Know that medicine that those animals give us, that is healing. They use their love and their admiration without conditions. Animals right now represent that medicine that we need to look for, that comfort. I know my kitty cat, even though she is naughty as hell, She purrs. She loves on me. She comes to sleep with me. That makes me feel special. I spoke to a lady who was reluctant to take a cat, took the cat, and now feels honored when he comes and loves on her. Little puppy dogs, too. Thinking of one, Petey. Hey, shh, don't do that. Hold on. That's what I'm talking about. Nibbling on my shoes. Sorry. So again, let me start over. We were at the reflections, the great smoking mirrors, releasing ourselves from the curse, aware of the actions that we have taken. Yesterday we were given the blade. What did you do with it? Look at yourself now. Do you see that transition? Do you see that freedom? Do you see those animal friends came to our rescue to make you feel special? To help us, guide us to that new purpose. Sitting under the moon, knowing that we have that unconditional support all around us. Not just from our friends, but like I said, from those animals. I have a bush in front of my house that has flowers that still bloom, even in the fall. And I am lucky enough to have the monarchs and all sorts of butterflies come. And I can't tell you how many times it's happened that we all sit and watch in amazement when we watch those butterflies and how much joy it brings us. And I always tell the boys that this is the support that we get from our ancestors. And just to see the beauty in all things. To let go of what burdens you. Hand it over. Soften, surrender, and forgive. Forgive yourself for those actions that you took. Stay in that impeccable mind. Remember the phrase, clean thoughts, clean words, clean actions. You are that reflection. Are you proud of who you see in the mirror? Do you need to stay in that cocoon a little longer? Turn to those animal friends. Look for that support all around you. Hand over what burdens you. Soften, surrender. Most importantly, forgive. Forgive yourself. Feel into those emotions. We're going into that fiery energy, leaving that fiery energy of Aries, of accepting oneself, and going into the earthy energy of Taurus. Taurus is that bull energy. Don't have any fear. We know how to alchemize. We know how to transmute. We know how to read the messages that are all around us. So come. Feel that fulfillment. Know that you are not alone. Welcome all those levels of support from heaven and earth, the animals, the ancestors. You are a blessing. So if this is as far as you get, know that this is your message. We are told to stop and look at ourselves. See that curse has been lifted, that we have released that limited story that we were given. Look at that transition. Look at your beauty. Spread those wings or stay longer in the cocoon. Know that there is support all around us, and that includes the animals, not just the allies and ancestors. And whatever is left over, hand it over. Soften those arms, soften those shoulders, surrender, and forgive yourself. Feel into those emotions, and be reminded that you are not alone. Our guardian angels and ancestors and animals are all here to hold and support us. But you need to invite them and see that beauty that's all around us. See the fact that those animals are trying to make you giggle, trying to help that vibration. Accept that invitation, or extend that invitation. Do it in prayer. Do it in song. Do it with intention. And that also comes with action. Light that candle. So be reminded that you are a blessing. And let's go deeper. For the rest of us, let's go deeper. Let's start a body scan. And a body scan is where we sink into the dark and imagine a hoop that is connected to our breath. Inhale, let it go higher. Exhale, let it sink down gently. Relaxing your forehead, closing your eyes, relaxing your jaw, your shoulders, your neck. Inhale, let it go all the way back up. Exhale. Imagine this time that hoop sliding down maybe just a bit faster, creating a bubble in its wake. That hoop's your relaxation. That bubble, that's our transportation. It's to help us sink us further into the dark. Take it from here. Sink. Listen to that vibration. Let it call you. Sink. Now close off your hoop. Tie it off like a balloon. Create a rope, a tether, a string. Sink it into the ground. Let Mother Earth take it from here. And you, sit back. Sit back and sink into the dark. This is the frequency of the heart combined with the throat, entering into the third eye. Don't stop breathing, but stop trying to do everything on your own. Here in the dark, this is where we let those barriers of independence fall, and we create that union, where we feel as if we are in a bubble, a cocoon, being held and loved and cherished here in the dark. Lay back and fall into those arms. Soften your body. Feel those emotions coming up. Let that vibration take over. Now sink. Let that clairaudience take over. Sink. Do you hear our guide purring by the fire? Come. Follow that sound. That healing sound. Follow it. Keep going through. Believe it or not, we are outside, sitting next to our feline. Come, get closer to the fire. Let that purring penetrate and create that peacefulness, Soften, surrender. Forgive yourself for those actions that you took. Know that you are transitioning. Welcome in those levels of support. Feel into those emotions. Know that they motivate us, guide us. You should feel proud of yourself. You have made it through each moon phase successfully. And now we get the light of the full moon to see our reflection, to see that we have lifted that curse of doubt, of shame, forgiven ourselves, surrendered and softened, handed over what no longer serves us. We are welcoming in all those levels of support from heaven and earth. Ma'am. As I welcome in the levels of support, Contessa has decided to accompany the purring. Come. Let's continue our meditation and connect back to that creative expression. So sit down, closer to the fire. Find that area on your hand where we can do a tapping. Find that area of your hand where you would do a karate chop and tap. This is EFT. This is where we awaken that emotional self and free ourselves of what no longer serves us, allowing our body to decide what it wants and what it doesn't. Move to that area on your forehead, that third eye, and tap. Listen. I commit to sharing and revealing my thoughts. Move to your temples and tap. Revealing my feelings by being creative in my communication style. Move to under your eyes and using my expressive language. Under your nose and tap. I express myself through talking, singing, laughing, and crying, and use through my creative talents. Slide under your lip, on your chin, and tap. I consistently use my senses to experience my world more fully. Slide down your throat to your clavicles and tap. I unlock my sight, my hearing, my smell, and allow myself to feel more. Under your arm, like you're giving yourself half a hug, and tap. I become more aware of my surroundings, such as the weather, my aroma, people, nature, sounds, and sights. Tap your other side. Tap. I am unlocking my creative expression. Tap on your head and exhale. By doing this, we have allowed our body to decide what our mind is burdened with. Allowing our body to release what it doesn't want, whatever is flowing over, the body is able to release. It's designed that way. All we need to do, make the time. Make the time, follow the sequence, and feel those emotions. Know that you are not alone. We have our animals, our allies, our ancestors. We are able to hand what burdens us, hand it over. And feel that intensity once again. Feel that connection. And if not, hand it over. Soften those shoulders. Roll them back. Surrender. Forgive yourself for the actions that you took in ignorance. Know that you can tap into that support. Welcome all those levels of support from heaven and earth. From the winged to the creepy crawlers, to the four-legged, to the fin, the fern, all the plants. Give thanks to the ancestors that have chosen to fly into our session, into our reading. Free yourself of what no longer serves you. Create that unlimited vision and unlimited thought. See that new reflection smiling back at you with hope, admiration, knowing that you are a blessing in this world and your uniqueness is needed in here. So if you're ready, do you want to go back? Let the sound of our choir, of our crickets and our flames sink us back into the void, to that higher consciousness. Sink. Welcome back. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, open your eyes. Open your eyes to all of your magic. This is your daily reminder that you are a blessing. You have discovered that inner child. You have discovered that you are not alone and that you can find us in the dark. You are a blessing. So once again, thank you. Thank you for practicing. Thank you for listening, for liking, for sharing. Please continue to subscribe to that message of connection, to strengthen our numbers, strengthen our tribe. So be reminded you are a blessing. So I offer you more blessings to you, to me, and to all who listen.